Zelos Podcast is sponsored by Kinetic IQ, where intelligence meets motion. Kinetic IQ brings a biomechanics lab into the palm of your hand, letting you measure movement anytime, anywhere, with just an iPad or an iPhone, and no wearables required. I've been using Kinetic IQ's markerless motion capture in my own practice, and whether you're screening athletes, analyzing posture and gait mechanics, optimizing performance, or guiding return to play, it helps practitioners like us save time, capture more objective data, and make instant actionable decisions. So to learn more about how Kinetic IQ is shaping the future of intelligent movement, visit them at kinetikiq.com. That's KINETIKIQ.com. You know, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to have Metabolic Elite be one of the sponsors of the Zelos Podcast. You know what makes Metabolic Elite different is their commitment to real results. I've seen a lot of supplements and performance enhancement things over the years, but they pair clinical experience with innovation, like Lipitab, their proprietary solid-state liposomal delivery system. It's a chewable format which enhances absorption, like nutrients like BPC 157 and synapses. They're delivered more efficiently in the body, supporting recovery, focus, cognitive health. Their formulas go beyond the basics, solving performance health challenges at the system level. Every product is tested for quality, it's backed by research, and trusted by athletes and clinicians alike. So learn more at metabolicelite.co. And you can get 10% off all of Metabolic Elite products by entering the coupon code ZELOS, Z-E-L-O-S. Welcome to the Zelos Podcast, the show that's all about the pros behind the pros in sports. I'm your host, Rocky Snyder, and this week I've got Shin Fukuda on. He is my guest from Tampa Bay Rays. He's not only the assistant athletic trainer, but the team's acupuncturist. So we're going to kind of see how he blends East and West together. But before we get underway, I want to announce a free webinar that I will be leading called From Toes to Nose, the secret weapon for rehab and performance. We'll be understanding closed biomechanics and how to use certain tools to elicit really positive responses through the entire body, whether it's in the rehab spectrum or in the weight room already returning performance. Now that'll be on April 28th, Tuesday, noon on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. You can go to my website, rockysnyder.com, or to performbetter.com, as they will be sponsoring this webinar. Again, it's free, and we just need you to register before the 28th. That's Tuesday, the 28th, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. You can, again, go to my website, rockysnyder.com, for not only that, but we've got blogs, podcast archives, a whole bunch of products, and if you want to do some online consulting as well. And before we go, remember, follow us on Instagram at Rocky_Snyder, click the subscribe button, and enjoy the conversation. Well, Shin, thanks for coming on the Zealous Podcast. I know you're in the beginning of the season, traveling a lot, so I appreciate you finding a little bit of time where we can sit down and have a conversation.
Thanks so much for having me, Rocky. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Now, you are with Tampa Rays and assistant athletic trainer, and also their team acupuncturist. Would that be an accurate statement?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, thank you.
How did you get to be there, first of all?
This is kind of long story, but I'm trying to long story short. I was playing the baseball in high school, but I was not good players at all. And then, after high school, I was thinking like during the high school after baseball is done, and I realized I cannot be a good baseball player. So, but I love baseball, so I wanted to work for the baseball somehow, and then I was researching what kind of job out there, and then I found out like a straight trainer for the baseball team, and then I was researching about what they're doing, how they're doing, and I found out like so many straight trainer in Japanese baseball team being like a acupuncture license they have. So I realized I should get the acupuncture license first to be a straight trainer in the baseball team. So I never had acupuncture experience myself at all during the high school
Really?
baseball. Nothing, but I just research about it. Oh, this is maybe the way to go a professional baseball team as a trainer or acupuncturist. So I just decided to go acupuncture school first, and then I was get out of my house and away from my parents, and then I going to school for acupuncture. But also there is like a astral training program, like a double school. So in the morning I learn acupuncture school, and the afternoon I was learning acupuncture astral training as well. It's kind of double school,
Really?
and
This is in Japan where they had
in
these
Japan,
two schools in one?
right?
Fantastic.
So there was no that kind of program in Japan. So it was like a brand new, very new program because many people going to the just 3 years actually training school first, and then they are going to the acupuncture school. So it took 6 years to get like a you know acupuncturist trainer in Japan, which is pretty common in Japan. But I was able to finish only 3 years because it's kind of double school, double major. And then while I was studying astral training acupuncture, there's a program for spring training, like an internship with the Washington Nationals. And then, I love baseball, and then I want to see what the Major League Baseball and what they're doing. And then I was luckily got selected. And then 2005, when I was 20 years old, I was able to go to spring training for the Washington Nationals about 2 weeks, and then I loved it. And then I like decided like after I back to Japan, oh, I wanna go back to United States for pursuing my Major League Baseball career myself. And then after I graduate the school in Japan and then passing the board exam for the acupuncture, and then I was able to go to Troy University in Alabama, 2007, when I was 22 years old. I had no English at all, but so I had no English at all. So I went to the English second language school first about a year, and then studies English every single day, about more than 10 hours every day. And then I was able to
Wow.
get into college 2008. And but I had no English at all at that time still. And then learning other subject in English was super tough, right? Like learning like biology or chemistry or physics in English, which was
Oh,
not easy at all.
I can only imagine.
And I was in Alabama, so southern accent from the teachers. So it was tough,
Oh, boy, you like a challenge. Not only is English as a second language, but you're putting yourself in the deep south.
right?
Wow. So you can basically overcome anything in your life after doing that, I imagine.
Right. And then I graduated at Troy after 6 years later because I couldn't get in the straight train program like a straightforward because I couldn't understand the interview process, like I didn't understand the questions from them, and then I couldn't do it. And then year later, I challenged it again, and then luckily I was able to get in. And then 3 years program, and then finished the 3 years, and then board exam, which was super tough for me. And then I was doing the many internships with professional team and then soccer team and urban baseball team. And then I got the internship with Rays 2014, and then after season intern, I was able to get the full time job with the Tampa Bay. This is my 13th season with the Tampa Bay Rays now. So
Unbelievable. Okay, 13 years with the Rays, intern as an athletic trainer at Auburn University, Exos as well.
mhm.
Then you had the Nationals, the D-backs, Sporting KC. I mean, you don't stop. You're familiar and learned in PRI and the Graston technique. I mean, when do you sleep?
I couldn't sleep much that time, and now I can sleep
Oh my
more often.
gosh.
And then I was in, working as a full time from 2015, but Rays want me to get the acupuncture license in Florida because at that time, like 10 years ago, there was no dry needling exist, right? And then so I was research about how to get the acupuncture license in Florida, and then luckily there's a one school in Sarasota, which is like 1 hour away from our spring training complex in Port Charlotte. So I researched about it and how much it's gonna cost it, how long it's gonna take it, and then I got answers and then talked to the Rays, and then hey, we gotta pay for the tuition, so let's get the acupuncture license. And then so I
Wow.
was working the full time in the morning, and then I go to school at night from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then go back to Port Charlotte, which is our living in near the spring training complex, and then go back to work about 6:30 in the morning every day. So
Shin, you're amazing. That's
it was
incredible.
yeah, I didn't sleep
And
much at that
no, but
time.
3 years of schooling for acupuncture and then the licensing on top of that. How long did it take to get the license?
About 3.5 years total for the acupuncture.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in the state of Florida, you have to pass like four board exams to be a licensure acupuncturist, not just one. So it took 1 year to pass all the four exams.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's quite a stringent
yeah.
requirement
Mm-hmm.
in a state that I wasn't expecting that to come from, to be honest. I mean, California, where I am here, I mean, I've been having acupuncture since I moved out here in the early 90s. So for over 30 years, yeah, one of the saddest days was when my acupuncturist said he was moving north to Shasta, and and I and I struggled to find an acupuncturist of his quality for a few years. But I I really align with traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture for not only myself, family members, and so on. So it's really interesting to hear outside of California what it's like. But what was it, do you think, if you could remember back, what was it about the Rays that piques their interest in having somebody be the team acupuncturist?
I think other states just started doing the dry needle, right? And
Ah,
dry needle is like very effective for like sports medicine, the injury recovery and the recovery. I mean, after surgeries, everything. And then it just started at that time. And then, but in state of Florida, you have to be an acupuncturist first to get the needle to the people in Florida. There's no ATPTs, no RO at that time, and I think like Razer already seeing the future and many PTAs coming to do needles, but I think they want me to get their license first to get an advantage for their
got it.
player healthy.
So what is the main difference between dry needling and acupuncture, would you say?
As a acupuncturist, I'm seeing more like meridians and acupuncture points. Like a more dry needle to me is like a more just a local area treatment. Like if shoulder hurts, just put the needle on the shoulder. That's it. But like
So more
acupuncture,
localized and superficial
right?
in a
But I
way.
do both. Yeah. So for
Great.
my shoulder, I use my, opposite hip, something like that, for example, and knees and ankles to open up meridians like a channel to loosen up like a shoulder, something like that. So I
So a
don't
dry
all the
needler
points.
wouldn't be looking at like the seven pulses. They wouldn't be looking at your tongue. They
Hmm.
wouldn't necessarily be looking in your eyes, but I imagine you do that.
Right. Not do everything, but I do not. I use acupuncture points to loosen up where I want to target it to target area. So.
Very good. And what about ear seeds or other tools like that? Or is it primarily needling that you're doing?
I used to use it, but I don't use it anymore right now. But I was doing like a minor league guys and major league players like 5, 6 years ago, and then they loved it. And then it works for shoulder tightness, elbow tightness, as well as like a more mental stabilization too, mental conditioning too.
So let's fold in your knowledge and background as an athletic trainer. How do you marry these Eastern and Western, primarily, philosophies
Mhm.
together? And did you struggle with contradictions? And if so, what were some of the biggest things that you had to overcome when trying to mold these together?
To me, like it's kind of easy way to combine this method, like East and Western medicine, because I was learning acupuncture and astral training at the same time right after high school. I was doing like 3 years, so that helps me a lot. Like this was really natural to me, to be able to use in like a acupuncture knowledge, also astral training knowledge too. But to me, like, I think I don't feel like I'm a just acupuncturist, but I also do a know the sports medicine type of acupuncturist. But also, I'm a straight training license I have here, and then I got IS acupuncture license here in the United States too. So to me, like a straight trainer, I don't just focus on where shoulder hurts or where elbow hurts. I was able to see from from head to toe. Like I was always seeing like not just local points, always like a seeing like an entire structure.
Certainly.
That helps me like a lot to be maintain this player trying to get healthy. So
Okay. And now I've used acupuncture for pain reduction,
mhm.
for I won't say as an alternative to anesthesia because I've haven't had surgical procedures, but I would potentially consider it. So with your knowledge in acupuncture and sports injuries, I'm imagining that you're also using points along the meridians to help control control excess chi, shall we say, stagnancy, which is probably the areas that we're going to have the most kind of issues in the tissues, so to speak. How is that received with your roster? Like, you don't have to name players. I'm not interested in that. But do you get a lot of people that are saying no, thank you, or are they all pretty much on board?
Pretty much on board actually.
That's
Yeah,
great.
luckily, like it's getting popular for the Major League Baseball for the dry needle. So that helps me a lot. But at the same time, like a player who had experience with like no good experience with other teams and the trainers or PT, and then bad experience they have, they don't want to do needle at all, like a zero.
Ah,
But I explain to the player who doesn't like a needle, like, hey, I use very smaller needle, very thin needle. I use because as acupuncturists, we learn like a very thinner needle we use compared to like a dry needle causes like a very thick needle. Because we take 3 years program, right? But dry needle only like a weekend courses like obviously like a time difference. So to us, like we are able to use very thin needle to not causing soreness or pain, and then we learn it like a very very long time in Japan and here as well. So I was very comfortable to explain to them, hey, needle is not that hard, but I can help you. That kind of explain to them, and they understand it, and then I got a trust from them, and then this is my ACA the big league. So even like players from other organization come to us, but in the clubhouse maybe this is my guessing, but race player already explained like what we do about strength training side, and then hey, this guy Shin does the needle, and then I don't know what they're saying, but good explanation to them, the new players, and then I didn't say anything, but they just come to me. Hey, I hear
Nice.
you are good, really good at it. And hey, can we do this? And they do that, and then I didn't say nothing. Just they come to me. Hey, can we get the treatment? Something like that. So this is very easy step. Like I skip the building the trust steps already somehow because I already with a relation with the other players, and then they already explained to them. And yeah, to me, like this year, a couple years, like easier to get in trust from even like a new players now. So
Very good. And for those that may be averse to needles, do you do just acupuncture or do you do some type of trigger point work? Or I know you've got your Graston technique and the work you do with PRI and so on, but do you still try and hit certain spots if you can't get the needle in, just maybe a finger or a thumb or elbow?
uh
Not that often.
not that often, but I use needles a lot, even like a very small tightness. Like for example, like we are doing a treatment yesterday, and then this player having like a very not very but a few very little bit of tightness on the elbow area, and then I was like scraping it with the grasshopper, but
Hmm.
he knew, hey, can we get the needle? And then we did a needle right away, and then we got a good twitch, and then his complaints all gone. Like, hey, we done, and they fix everything, and then let's move on, something like that. So I use more needle now than cupping and grasshopper now. I use needle pretty much everywhere right now.
Right on. Okay, so I'm totally fascinated by this because this is not a subject that I believe that I have touched upon in the podcast. I mean, I've talked to numerous athletic trainers over the years here, but no one like yourself who is combining these two disciplines.
Hmm.
So, what I'm curious about is the average baseball athlete, the professional baseball athlete, which meridians are the ones that you typically are looking to clear? Is there, first of all, is there one meridian that is more stagnant, that needs more chi to flow, or is it really just individualized and there isn't any pattern based on the athlete's profile?
It's really depends on the athlete, but I always like put the needle on the head first, also on the back too. So this is my like
Why?
very so this is called the intan. It's a acupuncture points intan, and then this meridian runs through from here to goes down here. So reason why I want to do this is must calm the mind first. So
So it's kind of like the third eye in
right.
other cultures, right? That's where you're talking about.
Professional
Okay.
baseball players, we have a game every single day, and it's just a beginning, but it's always under the pressure. And then my treatment to me, like my concept is when players on my table, I want them get relaxed as much as possible. So I'm trying to switch it on like a parasy- parasympathetic
Sympathetic,
nervous
yeah.
system. Yeah, nervous system. So turning off the active nervous system first. So when I put the needle, I can relax them more. And then also I'm checking the like abdomen. I check the abdomen tightness, and then I put the needle here. It's loosen up here, the abdominal.
What
So
does
that
abdominal tightness tell you?
it's more body stress and pressure. Uh-huh. So that doesn't help for more digestion, right? And then it's more like a gut health is like I'm getting more popular now. So when abdominal area is getting tighter or sore, it doesn't like working properly. so it doesn't digest properly, which means like you cannot detox yourself. Like you cannot your toxin is gonna be inside all the time. So at the same time, I wanna loosen up your stomach and the large intestine, trying to activate more bowel movement too. So that
Got it.
way you can detox your body yourself. And then I check the abdominal to loosen up here, also on the back too. And then it depends on the player. So I go like from sometimes I put the needle right behind the ear. Sometimes I put the needle on the like a big toe or something like that. So it depends on what they not complaining, but what they want to focus on, like a today's treatment, something like that.
Certainly. But for like your starting and relief pitchers, there aren't certain points that you'll put on all the pitchers. It's going to be individualized based on
Mhm.
what your individual assessment is each time, what their pulse is doing, and like we were talking earlier, the different things that you're looking for. We're just going to take a quick pause from this conversation to acknowledge our sponsors, and then we'll be right back. The Zelos Podcast is sponsored by Kinetic IQ, where intelligence meets motion. Kinetic IQ brings a biomechanics lab into the palm of your hand, letting you measure movement anytime, anywhere with just an iPad or iPhone. No wearables required. I've been using Kinetic IQ in my own practice, and whether you're screening athletes, optimizing performance, or guiding return to play, it helps practitioners like us save time, capture more objective data, and make instant actionable decisions. So to learn more about how Kinetic IQ is shaping the future of intelligent movement, visit kinetikiq.com. That's KINETIKIQ.com. At the forefront of metabolic elite is Jim Lavelle, internationally recognized clinical pharmacist, a chief science officer at Lifetime, and the co-chair for the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. He's got over 4 decades of experience and has guided Olympic athletes, professional teams, and leading health institutions. You know what makes Metabolic Elite different is their commitment to real results. Like Lipitab, their proprietary solid-state liposomal delivery system. It's a chewable format which enhances absorption like nutrients like BPC 157 and synapses. They're delivered more efficiently in the body, supporting recovery, focus, cognitive health. Their formulas go beyond the basics, solving performance health challenges at the system level. Every product is tested for quality, it's backed by research, it's trusted by athletes and clinicians alike. And you can get 10% off all of Metabolic Elite products by entering the coupon code ZELOS, ZELOS. Would you say within the Major League Baseball, or for that matter, maybe even in your knowledge of other professional sports leagues in the United States, how many other athletic trainers are like yourself that have, I mean, there's dry needling also, but I mean licensed acupuncturists, LACs. How many are out there with you?
I believe only one more in the big leagues right now.
Wow.
I think so, yeah. Only San Diego Padres, he has acupuncture license for sure, and I'm assuming he has actually training license too, but I'm not sure. But I know he has acupuncture license with in California, so yeah. But other than that, I don't know anybody like like me, like us, like a straight training the acupuncture license at the same license.
Yeah. Well, and not to diminish those that are very good with dry needling, but as you say, it's more or less a weekend workshop, and you take a certification, and suddenly you're there. Compared to 3 long years of studying all the meridians and the different way in which the Eastern approach looks at the body and its systems, and and the descriptions of wet and cold, wet and dry and damp, and those type of adjectives to describe the body, which we don't typically do in the Western world. There's quite a discrepancy there. Do you feel? I know there's probably a hope that more teams get licensed acupuncturists more so than dry needling, but it because it's so easy, I imagine that it's probably not something a lot of teams are actually pursuing.
I hope so, but just very difficult to get the both license. I luckily, I got the acupuncture license throughout, I was working full time and then going to school at the same time. I don't think many team can do that. And then now then like AT getting the PT and PT
Yeah,
getting AT, vice versa. But nobody think like a AT getting acupuncture, PT getting acupuncturist, right?
right.
So I don't know how many teams just value for acupuncture um, license for in their setting. So I was super lucky, like raise a very value to me to get the acupuncture license and bring me everywhere for the team. So I really hope like acupuncture is getting more involved in the highest level. But yeah, it's very difficult. Yeah, I mean, acupuncture. If you only study acupuncture 3 4 years, you had no idea about astral training or physical therapy at all. So, but at the same time, as a trainer trying to learn acupuncture, it's very very different concept. So it's very very tough to learn combined
Yes.
together. It was like I don't know. I was super lucky. I was learning from 18 years old, so I like it was very natural. So, but I think very valuable to baseball for sure. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, there's regular meetings that you're having, whether it's daily or several times a week with the other stakeholders like the team physical therapists and the strength coach, performance coaches, nutrition dietitianists, and sports med docs, and so on. Everyone's sharing information about the roster and what's going on with each athlete. How do you communicate what you're understanding as the team acupuncturist, if I could say, um, maybe even through the lens of an athletic trainer? But are there times where you're taking information based on your needling information, your assessments there? How do you communicate those concepts to the other coaches? Do you know what I mean?
Um, this is more like a more straight training, a straight trainer to me. Like so we are doing the screening stuff, but if somebody like a pitcher getting like a lack of range of motion for the internal, external, whatever,
Yeah,
and now I can use the needle, so I can the so like somebody like a lack of range of motion, like ankles, whatever, shoulder, elbow. I just use a needle to release the channel, and then like a muscle trigger points, whatever, and then we can get the range of motion back easily. So I just get in the numbers or how they feel as well, like from players. Oh, my shoulder is kind of like a sore or like it's kind of restricted today, so I just put the needle, boom, boom, and then get the range of motion right away back. So numbers always there in baseball, but to me, my job is like restore the range of motion and then help other trainer, also head trainer and then nutritionist or sleep to their job life get easier to me, like trying to let them life easier. I don't know.
yeah, I totally understand. That's a great answer. And I'm curious, a lot of times with acupuncture, obviously you're laying on the table, you hit several points, you let them kind of integrate that in, you come back, you check in on them, remove the needles, and then see how that goes. But what about dynamic movement with needling? Whether it's somebody that is pitching or it's somebody that's hitting, do you ever throw needles in the ears or other places in the that will relate to those areas? Say we're struggling with internal and external rotation. Are there some acupuncture points where you're like, okay, we're just going to throw a needle in here and then go ahead and throw some balls? And is that ever a protocol that you use?
I used to use that protocol actually, but
And how
I
was
don't.
that?
It was good. Like players like it a lot, and then but it obviously, on the big league level, usually, there's TV cameras everywhere, right? So they're like getting noticed for the
Oh,
needles on the ear. So they didn't mind it at the point, but people just getting recognized, and then oh, I'm good right now, and then like season's over, and then new players and in and out, and then why I don't use much needles on the ear much right now. So
got it. The cameras. Okay, next time you're just going to have needles with little flags at the end with Tampa Bay Rays logo
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
And then they'll just be like, what the heck's that all about? It's just brand recognition. No,
yeah.
that's funny. Okay, now I understand why you wouldn't. Well, right now you're on a road trip. The team's on a 3-game series with the Twins. Is that
Mhm.
correct?
Right, that's right.
Okay, you're in Minnesota, and it's the beginning of April,
Hmm.
um, and you're up there with the team, and it's I don't know how cold it is out, but I'm assuming that it's not as warm as
It's
Florida.
not all like this morning. Like I checked the temperature, and then it was a 34, and then feels like a 22, and then which is not like a Florida weather at all. Like I didn't go outside at all today.
Does that affect what you're going to do with the players and how?
Um, no, really. I mean, it doesn't affect me like weather-wise, but it affects for the players' performance for sure. But as long as like they can handle with the coldness, I think it's up to them. Like, I cannot control that area at all. So
Of course. But does that change your approach to what you're doing with the players? And I guess I'm thinking more along the lines of acupuncture, but we could throw in athletic training. Obviously, you're going to try and keep your players warm. I mean, I'm sure they do a little cryotherapy, but it's not for an entire game, is what they're hoping for. But yeah, how does that affect you?
I mean, I don't. It doesn't affect much. Like I don't change anything. Depends on the weather, and then time difference. For the time difference, I still use a needle here too. So but
And then with the timing, like what about sleep patterns or time zone changes? Do you have things that you can utilize in regards to the meridians that will help balance things out a little bit more, that
yeah,
will put them in a deeper
yeah,
state of relaxation
yeah. This news helps a lot for sleeping too.
between right above the eyes in between?
Right. So I do prayers like whoever is on the table, especially pitchers, like I put the needle on the head here. And then I do for the position prayers as well, and then that helps for time differences and the sleepiness, and then there's a oop, right? You can see like how much quality sleep you get,
Yes.
and then the players actually notice like after I put the needle here, and then their sleep quality is higher than usual. So
Oh, good.
that
So
helps
they
for
can actually see how effective it
right,
is
yeah,
based on that whoop.
which is pretty cool part.
That's a good buy-in for you.
Mhm.
Yeah. And okay, side note, amongst the stakeholders, the other coaches and professionals, do they seek your services out as well, or are you exclusively
Um,
with the players?
I mean, some coaches ask, but not very often at all. Like,
Hmm.
if we are not doing well as a team, like we're not winning, and then let's, coach is trying to do something different, and sometimes it's baseball, so sometimes like, baseball shenanigans, like put the needle on the calf or somewhere, like coach is like, hey, let's put the needle for the winning or run, something like that. So I put the needles for fun, for the coaches, but no, especially like not asking for actually like a treatment to us at all. Yeah.
Got it. And in regards to your own professional path and continuing education, what are you curious about these days in regards to your own career path?
Oh, could you say that again?
Or like your knowledge, like you've already gone through PRI, you've done all these other ways of learning. Is there something that you're intrigued by that you're trying to learn at this
Uh,
moment?
right now, I'm learning more Japanese concept and then technique from Japan. I'm from
Oh,
Japan. Obviously, I speak Japanese. So, like a treatment wise, I'm learning a lot from Japanese concept. So every off season I go home, I was trying to learn something new, and then actually taking seminar in Japan, and then like a more getting a new treatment. No, here you cannot run it here, but new concept in Japan. So it's also easy to learn to me because it's my mother language. So
yes.
I go to the seminar in Japan and learning like a new concept, and then
Do
trying
you
to polish myself doing it every year.
and is that with Japanese baseball organizations or
No, it's
no?
totally different. It's like
And
just focus on more like acupuncturists or uh, physical therapists learn their like establish their own techniques, the concept, and then I learn it from them. So
got it. So I am quite ignorant when it comes to baseball in Japan. And I'm wondering about those professional baseball teams in Japan, if it's very commonplace to have an acupuncturist on staff.
very very common. Like I
Very.
think like there's a 12 team in Japan, and I think every single team has more than 5 or 6 acupuncturists each team. I think like
Five or six.
anything. I think like more than 10 acupuncturists in the team. Like some of the team have more than 10 acupuncturists in the just the highest level in in Japan, like big leagues.
Wow.
Very 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 common for
Well,
acupuncture.
we've got Japanese players, obviously, some very amazing players.
Mhm.
Otani's coming to mind, obviously, but so many others coming from Japan. You would, I would think, I won't speak for anybody else, but I would think that that cultural influence would carry over here much more than what you're telling me.
I
Why do
think
you
so.
think that it is not happening? Is it because of dry needling and just the easy way out?
I think so.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, every single players bring their like a personal trainer from Japan, but no, they are not bringing only acupuncturists. Like, these days now is more physical therapists. They are bringing to their team now. So, it's more physical therapists more than acupuncturists or massage therapists to bring it to the Major League Baseball right now. So it's kind of, I don't know, shifting like a new generation. I don't know, but it's shifting the trend right now for sure. But back
okay,
then, like so many like massage or acupuncturist working for the Japanese baseball player and then bringing to the big league too. So
got it. Let's talk about a little bit, if you don't mind, your manual techniques, your manual kind of approach, soft tissue, joint mobilization, and uh, just all the work with your hands. How much do you blend that in? I mean, I imagine you're doing quite a bit of it, even though you have a good deal of time with the athletes with putting needles in them. But is that something you're doing in combination while the needles are in, that you're working different areas of the body to
so
elicit the response you want? How does it work?
I use a range of motion first, like every single joint first, and then like especially hip. These guys like these players obviously using more hip rotation, obviously. So range of motion is getting restricted for sure. And then laying the table and then check range of motion, something like that. And then I use my hands first, like you loosen up like a psoas first, and then I'm not trying to use a needle as much as I can right now because
Got it.
it causes soreness, and then if they don't like it, I will losing the trust. So not trying to use needle much now, like last couple years. So try not to use needle, use my hands, fingers, and then range of motion, manual therapy. And then if I couldn't get it, I asked them, "Hey, can I use a needle or something?"
Ah, very good.
And
Okay.
then I like needle is beautiful. I mean, our finger obviously no cannot touch like actually muscle, right? Obviously, skin's there, but
Yeah.
needle itself, I can touch muscle with needle. So this is like extend my finger, so I can touch needles and what's going on inside right now, and then just put the needle there. Oh, this is like restricted, and then I put the needle and then get the twitch, and then range of motion like right back right away. So
Do
uh,
you play back and forth a little bit? I'm going to do some manual stuff, range of motion. I've got some restrictions, some
mhm.
stagnancy. Tell you what, I'd like to put a needle in. We're going to let that sit there. Okay, let's take that out and let's go back into the manual.
I've used the needle
Almost
like
like a reassessment, but just to free it up or no?
I'm not gonna leave it in. I'm just in and out,
Oh,
just like
really?
a, 1 second maybe, boom boom, that's it, and then get the twitch and done.
No way. That's it.
I'm not leaving the needles right now at all. Like sometimes I do it, but not every time. I usually not leaving just to get the quick twitch and then that's it, bam bam.
Fascinating. I was thinking that you would just leave them in for a little while and
So
let that
I
chi flow, but you don't need to.
I use more my body's like hands all the time, and then if I need to, I use needle like get the trigger point it is, and then that's it, and then can check a range of motion, and then doing the joint mob stuff, and then restore the range of motion with my fingers and hands, and then or like like ankle range of motion, for example, if I couldn't get the dorsiflexion and I feel like a posterior tibia is tight, it's very deep muscle, so I use like a needle right away, boom boom, and then release, and then I get the range of motion quick, easier. So
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I had no idea. You just flipped my head upside down. You're just in there to do a quick release and then reestablish movement.
that's it.
Of course, that makes so much sense to me now. Oh, that's
So this
fantastic.
is not like a typical acupuncture session at the acupuncture
Right.
clinic, so it's totally different. So
Yeah. Yeah. Using a tool for slightly different approach. Wow.
mhm.
Oh, I love that, Shin. That is great. Okay, maybe a couple more questions here. Uh, is there a position on the team in terms of athletes that you particularly enjoy? I won't say more than others, but you have this kind of leaning toward. Like, is it the catchers? Is it the infield, the pitchers, a relief? Are there any of those kind of positions that you really enjoy working with?
Typically, I'm working with the pitchers most of the time. Many
Got it.
starting pitchers and then relievers who likes needles. And yeah, I work in like pitcher like a pretty much like 80% of the time in the roster.
Beautiful.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you keep yourself quite busy there. And
Right.
then based on your assessments and your information, you carry it over to the strength coach and you just
Um,
say, here's what I'm seeing, just to let
yeah,
you
sometimes,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes, but as long as like players like feel good, I don't tell like anything like keep it simple. So we don't communicate much like healthy player at this point, but more like a
The ones that are coming back
initiated.
from
Right,
injuries or
right,
surgery or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, the post op is
These
more,
guys are more
yeah.
careful to do what to do. So but healthy guys just trying to keep them healthy all the time. So no restriction or anything. So we don't have to communicate like, yeah, this guy needs this or need that. So we don't do that. So more, healthy guy just let them do it. So whatever. So
And with all the approaches and the tools and techniques that you have in your toolbox, as you get near the end of the season, are you pulling different tools compared to the beginning of the season? Are you relying on certain things in April and May, and you're shifting and you're using these techniques come September and October?
maybe I use more modality if I need to, and over more season goes because I want to heat up the tissue at the same time. Sometimes I use a heat when players lay down the table, and then I do like the same exact like treatment, like just adding some more heat or something like that. So, but I'm not necessarily like changing my treatment like during the season. Maybe sometimes, but not all the time.
Well, there's a good way to kind of almost bring this conversation into the end range, which you just mentioned heat. And obviously, we've got contrast baths and we got cryotherapy, but I mean, I'm not that far from, I'm on the Pacific Rim, shall we say. So I have a tendency to lean more east than I often do west. And when I think of retiring individuals, they don't go to Greenland or up to Alaska. They typically go to warmer climates where their bodies feel better, where it's warm and moist. So, how, what's your what's your professional opinion about cryotherapy? I'm sure there's a place and time, but do you rely on it or do you rely more on warmth and heat?
I rely on more heat. So cryotherapy to me, this is very depends on the player. Like some players
Yeah,
doesn't like ice at all. Like no ice tub, no contrast, anything, just straight heat. And then reason because muscle is getting tighter, and then that cold bath more firefight response, and then they are getting more intense, not relaxing. And so this is very. I don't recommend the player, hey, you should get the tub or contrast. So at this level, like in the big leagues, like most of the guys already knew their routine from the minor league uh, level. So they know at this point what's the best routine recovery modalities benefit for them right now. So I don't change their routine anything. So if they want to do it, go for it. And then if you don't like the ice bath at all, I don't care at all. Like that's your body. You know your body more than us. So that's my concept. So
very good.
but I like more just heat than cold for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Shin, this has been fabulous.
Thanks.
Honestly, I can't say uh, I can't say that I have. What I can say is I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. The uniqueness of your position of being one of just a handful of professionals in your position with these combined disciplines is has been a joy to try to unfold and investigate with you, and I really appreciate your time here. If people want to, do you do social media, or are there ways in which to kind of follow your pursuits, or maybe there's professionals out there that want to combine them? What do you suggest?
Just LinkedIn is fine. Like you find me in the LinkedIn, so I think that's the best way, like more professional too to me. So
Yeah,
yeah, like if somebody like have a questions, anything, I think, yeah, LinkedIn is like, I think that's the easy way. I think.
well, and I'll make sure that your profile is in the description below. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks so much for your time. Thank you, Rocky.
And that's it for the Zelos Podcast this week. I'd like to say we'll just stick a pin in it, but that would be kind of cheesy. I got to thank Shin for coming on, as well as my appreciation to the Tampa Rays for allowing this to happen. Remember, we've got that free webinar coming up at the end of the month. It's April 28th, From Toes to Nose, the secret weapon for rehab and performance. Go to performbetter.com or my website, rockysnyder.com. Sign up Tuesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on the 28th. Until then, let's hear one more time for our incredible sponsors and go out there and make it a good one. Remember to check out metabolicelite.co. Check out all the products they have on their website. Synapsin Pro is something I've been using to help stay focused without having to over-caffeinate myself. It keeps me in the zone so I can just really hone in on the things I need to achieve without feeling like, man, I got to reach for an energy drink every 5 minutes. Metabolicelite.co. And don't forget, Kinetic IQ. They've got markerless motion capture for morons like me. I can use their product with my iPhone or my iPad. I can look at posture analysis, movement analysis of any exercise, gait analysis. It gives me everything I could possibly want when tracking people's movements. So, check out kinetikiq.com.